Welcome to my channel. Here, we take you on a journey from Microsoft Azure basics all the way to hero level. I'll guide you step by step, starting with how to create a Microsoft account, how to manage your subscriptions, and then how to log into Microsoft Azure. From there, we'll dive deeper into the cloud, learning how to create and manage powerful resources like virtual machines. Whether you're a complete beginner or someone looking to sharpen your cloud skills, this channel is your one-stop place to learn, practice, and grow with Microsoft Azure. So, if you're ready to level up your skills and master the cloud, hit that subscribe button, and let's get started. So, why is cloud networking such a big deal? Traditional networking requires physical hardware, complex configurations, and significant maintenance. Azure Cloud Networking virtualizes all this, letting you create sophisticated, scalable networks with just a few clicks or commands. Azure operates over 60 regions worldwide, each with multiple availability zones. This massive footprint lets you deploy applications closer to users, reducing latency and improving performance. For example, data traveling between East US and North Europe might experience around 80 milliseconds latency, but by leveraging Azure's global network, you can optimize this dramatically. Azure networking isn't just about connectivity, it's about integrating a suite of services that provide security, scalability, and reliability. From Azure Virtual Network, VNet, to Azure Firewall and ExpressRoute, these services work together to build robust cloud environments. The heart of Azure networking is the Azure Virtual Network, VNet. Think of a VNet as your own isolated virtual data center in the cloud. It allows you to securely communicate between Azure resources, connect to the internet, and link to on-premises networks. Key points. Isolation and segmentation. Each VNet is logically isolated, and you can divide it into subnets for better organization and security. Custom IP address spaces. You define the IP address ranges using CIDR blocks, e.g. 10.0.0.0/16. Integrated services. VNets integrate with Azure services like Azure Kubernetes Service, AKS, and Azure App Service environments. Within each VNet, you create subnets to segment your network. Subnets can be public or private, depending on whether they allow direct internet access. Azure automatically routes traffic between subnets and provides options for custom routing. IP addressing in Azure is flexible. You can use private IP addresses, e.g. 10.0.0.0/8, for internal communication and public IP addresses for internet-facing resources. Azure also supports both IPv4 and IPv6. Security is paramount. Network security groups, NSGs, act as virtual firewalls, controlling inbound and outbound traffic to resources like VMs and subnets. Rules can allow or deny traffic based on source/destination IP, port, and protocol. For more granular control, you can use application security groups to group VMs based on their roles, making it easier to apply security policies to similar workloads. Azure DNS provides reliable DNS hosting and resolution. It includes Azure Public DNS for public domains, Azure Private DNS for private networks, and Azure DNS Private Resolver for hybrid scenarios, enabling seamless name resolution between cloud and on-premises. For high availability and scalability, Azure offers Azure Load Balancer, Layer 4, and Application Gateway, Layer 7. Load Balancer distributes traffic across VMs, while Application Gateway provides advanced features like SSL offload and path-based routing. For global applications, Azure Front Door optimizes traffic routing across regions, ensuring low latency and high availability through features like global load balancing and DDoS protection. Many organizations need to connect on-premises data centers to Azure. Azure VPN Gateway provides secure site-to-site or point-to-site VPN connections over the Internet, while ExpressRoute offers private, dedicated connections with higher reliability and lower latency. For complex global networks, Azure Virtual WAN simplifies connectivity by integrating VPN, ExpressRoute, and firewall services into a single management interface. Beyond NSGs, Azure provides Azure Firewall for network-level protection, Web Application Firewall, WAF, for safeguarding web apps, and DDoS protection to mitigate large-scale attacks. These services can be centrally managed via Azure Firewall Manager. To keep your network healthy, use Azure Network Watcher for diagnostics and Azure Monitor for metrics and logs. Azure Virtual Network Manager helps manage connectivity and security policies across multiple subscriptions and regions. Network Watcher is a powerful tool in Microsoft Azure that helps you monitor, diagnose, and troubleshoot your cloud network. It gives you visibility into infrastructure resources such as virtual machines, virtual networks, application gateways, and load balancers. With Network Watcher, you can view real-time metrics, capture network traffic, and analyze logs to quickly identify and resolve issues. For example, if a virtual machine cannot connect to the internet, or if traffic is being blocked at a gateway, Network Watcher provides the data you need to pinpoint the problem. It's important to note that Network Watcher is designed for infrastructure as a service resources. It isn't intended for platform as a service monitoring or web analytics. By using Azure Network Watcher, you gain the ability to keep your cloud environment healthy, reliable, and secure. Microsoft account. In this guide, I'll walk you through the steps to create your very own Microsoft account. Step 1. Open your web browser and go to signup.live.com. This is Microsoft's official sign-up page. Step 2. You'll be asked to create an account using either your email address or your phone number. If you'd like a brand new Outlook email, click on Get a New Email Address, type in the name you want, and then press Next. Step 3. Create a strong password. Make sure it's something secure, with at least 8 characters, including letters, numbers, or symbols. When you're ready, click Next. Step 4. Enter your first name and last name, then click Next again. Step 5. Choose your country or region from the drop-down list, then enter your birth date. Once done, press Next. Step 6. Now it's time to verify your identity. Microsoft will send a security code to the email or phone number you provided. Open your inbox or messages, find the code, and type it into the box. Then, click Next. Step 7. To make sure you're not a robot, Microsoft will ask you to complete a quick CAPTCHA puzzle. Solve it, and move forward. Final step. Congratulations! Your Microsoft account is now ready. You'll see the Microsoft dashboard, where you can use services like Outlook for email, OneDrive for cloud storage, Teams for communication, and Office apps like Word, Excel, and PowerPoint on the web. And that's it. You've successfully created a Microsoft account. How to go to subscriptions in your Microsoft account. Now that your Microsoft account is set up, let's find the subscriptions page. Step 1. From your Microsoft account home screen, look to the top right corner and click on your profile icon. Step 2. In the menu that appears, select My Microsoft Account. This will take you to your account overview page. Step 3. On the left-hand side menu, or sometimes in the top navigation bar, click on Services and Subscriptions. Step 4. Here, you'll see all of your current subscriptions like Microsoft 365, Xbox Game Pass, or any other Microsoft services you may have. You can view renewal dates, manage payments, or cancel services from this page. And that's it. You've successfully navigated to your subscriptions in your Microsoft account. How to log into Microsoft Azure. In this guide, I'll show you how to log into Microsoft Azure. Step 1. Open your web browser and go to portal.azure.com. This is the official Microsoft Azure portal. Step 2. On the sign-in page, enter the email address, phone number, or Skype ID linked to your Microsoft account. Then click Next. Step 3. Type in your password, and press Sign In. Step 4. If you have two-step verification turned on, you'll be asked to approve the sign-in. This may be through a code sent to your phone, or a notification from the Microsoft Authenticator app. Step 5. Once verified, you'll be redirected to the Azure portal dashboard. From here, you can create and manage cloud resources, like virtual machines, databases, storage accounts, and more. And that's it. You are now signed into Microsoft Azure. I'll guide you step by step through the process of creating a virtual machine in Microsoft Azure using the Azure portal. We'll cover the basics of what a virtual machine is, why we use them, and then dive directly into the Azure interface to deploy one. By the end of this walkthrough, you'll know exactly how to create, configure, and connect to a Windows Server virtual machine, all without writing a single line of code. So first, what is a virtual machine, or VM? A VM is essentially a computer running inside the cloud. It can run Windows or Linux, and it behaves like any regular server or desktop. In Azure, virtual machines are most commonly used to host applications, test environments, or even full-scale production workloads. The big advantage is that you don't need to buy physical hardware. Instead, Azure gives you on-demand, pay-as-you-go compute power. Now, let's get started. Once you're signed into the Azure portal, look at the top search bar. Type in virtual machines and click on the service that appears. You'll see a page listing any existing VMs in your subscription. To create a new one, click the Create button and then choose Azure Virtual Machine. This opens the VM creation wizard, which is split into several tabs: Basics, Disks, Networking, Management, and so on. The first tab is called Basics, and this is where we configure the core identity of our VM. Select the subscription where the VM will live. For the resource group, if you don't already have one, create a new group called RGDemoVM. Give your virtual machine a name, for example, VM Demo 01. Choose the Azure region closest to your users. For this demo, we'll use East US 2. For availability options, you can leave it as no infrastructure redundancy required for now. In production you might use availability zones or availability sets. For the image, which defines the operating system, we'll choose Windows Server 2019 Data Center. For size, Azure suggests machine sizes. For our demo, select standard \_B2S, which is affordable and works well for small workloads. Create an administrator account by providing a username and a secure password. This is how you'll log in. Finally, for inbound ports, allow RDP on port 3389 so we can connect remotely. Click Next to continue. On the Disks tab, you choose the storage for your VM. Azure defaults to a premium SSD for high performance, but for testing you can select a standard SSD or even an HDD to save costs. Leave the other options as they are unless you need advanced features like encryption or multiple data disks. Click Next again. The Networking tab defines how your VM connects to the world. Choose an existing virtual network or create a new one. Select the subnet where the VM will reside. Enable a public IP so you can connect from your computer. In real-world production, you might disable this and use Azure Bastion instead. For the NIC Network Security Group, which acts as a firewall, you can select Basic to allow RDP, or Advanced if you want to assign an existing NSG. Click Next again. In the Management and Monitoring tabs, you can enable features like Boot Diagnostics, Azure Monitor, and automatic updates. For this demo, the default settings are fine. You also have the option to add tags, which are very useful for cost tracking and organizing resources. For example, add a tag that says, Environment, Demo. Now you'll reach the Review and Create page. Azure validates all of your selections and shows you a summary of the configuration. If everything looks correct, click Create. Deployment usually takes between 2 and 5 minutes. Once deployment finishes, go to the New Virtual Machines Overview page. Click Connect, then choose RDP. Download the RDP file, open it, and log in with the username and password you created earlier. And that's it, you now have a running virtual machine in Azure. That's the full walkthrough of creating a virtual machine in Azure through the portal. You've seen how to configure basics like region, image, and size, how to set up networking and security, and finally how to connect to it. From here, you can install applications, That's it for today's session. We started with the theory on Microsoft Azure from basic to hero, then walked through how to create a Microsoft account and how to go to subscriptions. After that, I showed you how to log into Microsoft Azure, and finally, how to create a Microsoft virtual machine. This is just the beginning of your Azure journey. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe for more step-by-step tutorials, and I'll see you in the next video.